Our left side studio, as we've mentioned, has our page control, and it also has this studio called Master Pages. I'm going to show you how to use Master Pages now and what it can do to enhance your document. So the first thing I'm going to do here is add a few pages to my actual document. So I'm going to add another double page spread, and I will do that one more time to give myself a 5-page document. So if I want to navigate to any specific page, I just double click and my main screen takes me to that page. But what my master pages will do for me is allow me to format those pages with some consistent elements. One of the rules of thumb for good design is have some continuity or some design theme running through your document to kind of tie everything together. So I've got my 5 pages now. If I want to add something to the background of those pages, a design element, for example, to make it look like they're all part of the same article, I can do that through my master pages. So anything that I put onto a master page, I put this on the left side, my left side master page. You'll see that any page on the left side of a spread has that object showing up. And this will apply to anything in terms of alignment grids or guides or margins or text boxes, text fields, images. Anything you apply will show up on every single page. So let's utilize that now to quickly demonstrate some design elements. So what I'm going to do here is simply draw out a large box on my left side page, and I want to put a gradient on that to make it look a little bit different. So I'm going to drag my gradient out and control my gradient. Let's go with a bright orange all the way down to kind of a reddish pinkish color. Okay, maybe lighten that up a little bit. Okay, so one of the elements of good design is if you do have stuff in the background, it needs to be somewhat subdued. It can't be very bright and vivid, otherwise it distracts from the content of your page. So I'm going to turn my opacity all the way down here and fade this out so it's kind of in the background. I'm also going to add another design element. This one's going to be a circle with a similar gradient on it. I'm going to offset this circle up in the top left-hand corner. And you'll notice as I do this, these are appearing on my left side page. So now for the sake of consistency, I'm going to do the same thing on my right side page, but adjust my layout just a little bit and put this circle in the bottom right corner. So again, there we have the theme of our article passed all the way down through our pages. I'm going to add one more thing here. I'm going to do a simple rectangle right here, and this rectangle is going to be a spot for my title. And I'm going to change the color of this one so it's a little bit different. Let's make it just a nice light blue. And I'll duplicate that to be the title or masthead on every page. There we go. So now we have some consistent graphics in the background of our master pages, and you'll see them as I navigate through. They're going to show up on every page. So as I said, you can use this for background images, you can use it for pictures, it can be text boxes, it can be absolutely anything that you want to utilize that will help you create your document. I'm going to just turn on some columns here to show you that it also will apply to things beyond graphics. So I'm going to choose View and look at my Guide Manager. I'm going to close that first and make sure I'm on my master page before I do this. So I'm on my master page, I'll go back to my Guide Manager, and I want to have some columns in my document. So I'm going to turn on 2 vertical columns. And I'm going to close that. So you're going to see now on all of my pages that I have a rough column guide. Now that column guide it isn't obtrusive, it isn't on the front of the page, but if I want to add text, and I start to drag out, you'll notice that when I drag out a text box, it snaps to the edge of that column guide. So that's going to allow me to put text into my document, and it will format itself to fall into the spacing of those columns. I'm going to get rid of that from my master, and you'll see it disappear from everything else. But one thing I do want to have showing up on all of my pages is a page number. So I'm going to take my text field, drag it out, and inside that I'm going to choose text and insert page number. And that's going to put a little symbol in there So I'm going to highlight that and make it a bit larger so you can actually see it. Okay, so it now has simply the number symbol. I can position that and format that wherever I want. So there is my snap to center page alignment showing up. So that's going to be centered. I can highlight it certainly within that text box and center the contents of that box. And you'll notice now I've got page number on the left side pages. So in my document, my page number is showing up only on the left side pages. But it is showing page 2 and page 4 because this right side is the odd numbers 1, 3, and 5. So to get it on both pages, I'm going to need to duplicate that same text object. I'm going to move it over and center it. So notice it is now aligned horizontally. You see the red lines aligning top, bottom, middle, and I see the center line going up the middle, aligning it in the center of my page. And again, when I release that, you'll notice that I now have page numbers on all of my pages, and they are all numbered accordingly. All right, so there's how your master pages work. Again, at any point in time, you can turn this left side studio off if you want to. I'll go to Studio and I'll click off Show Left Side and it disappears. So if you need more room to work on your workspace, certainly you can do that. I'll turn it back on so we can see it. So there we go. That's how master pages work. It's a great tool to allow you to tie your document together with graphic elements. You can add page numbers and you can add other things, columns, etc., that will allow you to properly lay out your pages. Oh, one more thing that I do want to show you. If you have this design element on all of your pages, because it's in your master, and you think, well, on the last page, I don't want this design element, I want to do something a little bit different, you can hold down your control or mouse click, and you can clear masters from that page. And what that's going to do then is simply wipe out any master elements from that individual page and leave them on all of the other pages. I'll go back and I can reapply my master to page 5 and it shows back up again. Okay, so there's master pages in a nutshell. I hope that is helpful. Good luck with your document.